So this session is a long-form video podcast that I filmed with Denis Mezheritskiy of ROI Business Brokers. In this session, we discuss the differences and processes of selling a physical business versus a online business. We also dive into the advantages of selling an e-commerce business, how it can be great, how you can cross-sell, etc. If you enjoy this session, make sure to check the full podcast, which is linked in the description right below. Another question that I also have is what are the main differences that you see yourself as a business brokerage with regards to the sale of online businesses versus physical ones?
Um, Online there's so much different. But under online businesses, there's so much different industries, so many different industries, right? Like I don't specialize in online businesses that are pre-revenue, right? My whole concept of valuation is working with companies who are revenue, they're bringing cash flow. The companies who are looking to raise money or looking to raise funds, that a business broker is not a right fit. I'm working with the companies who are prepared for the exit and are generating cash flow, so that investors or buyers in that company are looking for that cash flow. At the end of the day, business is business. There's a certain amount of business that produces the cash flow. Based on that cash flow, we can estimate the value. So, e-commerce is phenomenal. It's very scalable. There's so much opportunity. There's a lot of cross-selling going on. It all depends within the company. Does the company owns the actual database? What is the intellectual property that the company has? Like you really have to break it down on molecules and really understand exactly where the company fits in on valuation. But yeah, e-commerce are phenomenal to sell because you can go nationally with it, right? It's not really it's not location bound for most of it. So e-commerce is a great platform, and they're really great to cross-sell different product lines as well. So it's a great company to sell as long as they have some intellectual property and value in those products, in those services, in those customers that they've served.
E-commerce, by the way, the valuation method for e-commerce is SDI, they do it on a seller discretionary income basis.
Yeah, so it's SDE. It's called Seller's Discretionary Earnings. It's the same process that would happen with e-commerce. It's the same process that will happen with a service-based company. There's a certain amount of cash flow that the company produces. What are the opportunities for the company to expand? For e-commerce, it goes a little bit more deeper, as it's not a lot of asset-based. Typically, not a very heavy asset-based business. So what is the recurring revenue from those clients? Because sticky revenue, like those recurring revenues, is where the money is on a lot of businesses. That's where the valuations are increased. Is how much of that how many of those customers are constantly buying and reoccurring sales. So and what is the model on the business? Like companies who are able to create a membership style reoccurring revenues are much more valuable than the companies who work on order per order basis.
Yep.
Even the HVAC business, right? There's companies in the HVAC world. There's some that do only installation, right? They work with general contractors, they work with commercial contractors, and all they want to do is the installation, for new construction. And then there's other companies, most of what they do is their service. It's a monthly revenue that they can continuously charge those clients, those credit cards that constantly bill. So if I'm a buyer coming in, I would rather buy a company that gives me a good security that those revenue is going to continue to come in. Then, what if something happens with the real estate market and the construction industry goes down? Then what am I going to do with this company afterwards?